What is going on, guys, and welcome to a new video. In today's video we have the first of 4 for the elite slayer mobs, which is going to be the living wyverns guide. So on screen at the moment you can see the sections that we are going to cover. We're going to go over some general information about the wyverns and the environmental effects of the room that they are in. Then we'll go over the gear, invent and action bars to use, and then finally how to kill them. These sections will all be time-stamped down in the description, so if there is any specific bit that you want to have a look at, then go and click on that now. And without further ado, we'll jump into the first bit now. So, the living wyverns are the first of 4 of the elite slayer creatures that were released into the game, requiring 96 slayer to kill. They're level 127 with 22,500 life points, located in the Asgardian Ice Dungeon, and they are a whopping 350 to 375k slayer experience an hour, and you can, if you really try hard, and push this up to around 400k an hour. And they've got 2 unique drops, the first of which being the tier 85 two-handed crossbow, the Wyvern crossbow. This has a 1 in 10k drop rate and is currently sat around 37 to 38 million GP. And the second is the Raptor Key Piece 1, which can only be achieved on task, and you need 4 pieces from the 4 different elite slayer creatures in order to open the Raptor chest, which gives some nice slayer bonuses. So wyverns are slightly different creatures in that you also have to consider the environmental effects of the room that they're in whilst you're killing them, as well as actually killing the monsters themselves. So the room that they're in has a temperature dependent environment, and basically the room will make you colder as you stand in it unless you light and stand next to fires within the room itself to warm you up. Now the mechanic is that when you're colder, the wyverns will do more damage, and when you're warmer, the poison that is given to you will do more damage. And I've found that between sort of 100 and 250 poison splats is about ideal, and the Venom Bolt perk and also anti-poison do not work for this environmental poison effect. So the wyverns are located in the Asgardian Ice Dungeon. The quickest way to get there is to use the Dungeoneering cape using the keybinds 0 and then 8. That'll teleport you to the Frost Dragon Dungeon, and then you can run straight over. And then the second method is to teleport to the Port Sarim Lodestone and then run south to the entrance of the cave, and then run into the ice section of the dungeon. Okay, so on screen at the moment you can see the inventory gear and action bars that I use for living wyverns. I'm not going to go over everything, so feel free to pause the video if you want to try and copy this exact setup, but I will go over a couple of important things that I've highlighted in red. So as far as the inventory goes, it's going to be important to have a wand and kite shield switch. Now I would recommend the tier 90 shield, because that's going to give you the maximum resonance heals and it's fairly cheap. As far as the wand goes, a tier 80, 85 or 90 wand is good, so you can use the Virtus, the Psyweir or the Seismic wand, because most of your DPS whilst using a shield is coming from more of the reflect hits as opposed to the actual wand itself. Now what is also really important that you take in your inventory is a poison potion, or a poison plus potion, because this is going to do quite a lot of damage over the course of a task. So taking a look at the gear, subjugation is absolutely fine, and the only perk that you really want to have on there, or that you really need to have on there, is the genocidal perk for the extra 7% damage whilst on slayer task. And also you really were going to want to take an amulet of souls, because this is going to heal, mean that you'll heal much more using soul split, which we'll use to get quite a lot of our health back. Now taking a look at our action bars, I have both a magic and a defensive action bar set up, but I've highlighted the ones that you're really going to want to have keybound, and the important abilities that we're going to be using are the main magic stuns, so impact, deep impact and asphyxiate, and these are important because they basically stop the wyverns attacking you. And then we're also going to be using the defensive abilities debilitate and reflect. Okay, so when you're outside of the skeletal wyvern cave, you're going to want to pot up, pray range, and then head in and head down into the living wyvern cavern. Now if one of the wyverns doesn't attack you, then you want to head over to the spot over to here and attack the first wyvern. And now it's important that you MD this wyvern and pray melee, because we're going to do a 2 kill rotation, and the only kill that's different is this first kill, because we're just gaining the past 50% adrenaline essentially. If a wyvern does attack you on entry, then just do this pray melee method for this first wyvern, and then we're going to move into the 2 kill rotation now. You're going to want to start by using wild magic on the first wyvern, and then swapping to your wand and shield and using resonance. Until this resonance pops, just use a few basics and then into reflect. And again, whilst the wyvern is attacking you and you're doing reflect, you can just use a couple of basics, and then you want to end off with impact and then finish the kill off with deep impact with your staff, and then that should be the first kill done. The second kill is much easier. All it is asphyxiate with your staff, into debilitate, finish it off with a couple of basics, and then this is a great time to use sacrifice to get a cheeky heal if you are low on HP. And that is the 2-kill rotation. Very, very easy. So I'll go through it again. Start off with a wild magic into the resonance, and then into reflect. Use some basic abilities to get the wyvern's HP lower. Once you're sitting around sort of between 10 and 5k HP, you can use the basic stun. Impact, this will stop the wyvern attacking you. Swap to your staff, and then use deep impact and also some other threshold or some other basics if you need to finish it off. And then now that you've got your staff equipped, straight into asphyxiate, because the wyvern cannot attack you whilst asphyxiating it, into debilitate, and then some basic abilities to finish it off there, and using the sacrifice ability to heal if you need to. And yeah, that is the 2-kill rotation. I'll leave it up on screen just for a little bit longer so you can just get a better feel for it. I have put on screen the rotation in writing so you can see the ability order that you are supposed to do. And in red you can see the abilities that you perform with your staff, and in blue you can see the abilities that you do with your shield. And this rotation is really good because it allows you to do easily a whole task without banking. And one thing I have forgot to mention earlier is just familiars. What you can do is you can take 3 different familiars with you. Personally, I choose to opt for a bunyip because it just gives you some nice passive healing, but you can also take a unicorn stallion or a yak pouch if you are struggling for food. But with this rotation you should be able to easily get a whole task done without using even close to all of the food in your inventory. Okay, so the final thing I'll cover is just the environmental effects of the room. Now, I have discussed this earlier, but basically you want to keep the poison damage between 100 and 250. You'll see in this video sort of mine fluctuates between sort of 100 and 200. And the way you combat this is just standing next to the fire. So when the fire goes out that you're near, just light that and stand next to it. If you're lower than 100, make sure you're standing next to it whilst you're killing the wyverns, and if you're above sort of 200, then you want to be standing away from it, or a couple of squares away from it whilst killing the wyverns. And the final thing that I will mention is that if you do mess up your rotation, the best thing to do is to just start it over. So start off by, if you mess it up, just MD a wyvern, let your abilities all reset so you're off cooldowns for everything. You shouldn't take too much damage MDing it with the melee prayer on, and then you can just restart again. Okay, so that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you have found it useful and informative. I wish you the best of luck on your wyvern task and get picking up one of those wyvern crossbows and raptor key pieces. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, you found it useful. If you do, please do like, subscribe if you are new, and yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.